This episode, I'm in Northwest Indiana to get to know John with Turf Tamer Lawn Care.
Feel it? You see that one?
So how long have you been in lawn care?
It's probably on and off for 21 years, something like that. And that's professionally. Of course, growing up, you always start out by, doing stuff for your dad or, grandmas and things like that. But professionally, at one point or the other, it's been over 20 years. And I started out with a small outfit that turned into about a medium-sized outfit. Worked my way up through the ranks with them. Became a crew leader. Responsible for all types of stuff except for all the behind-the-scenes business stuff that that business owners have to deal with. So of course, what do you think you could do? You think you got everything mastered, and then what do? You're like, I could do this on my own. And then you realize once you go out on your own, there's a whole lot more to it than just the work that needs to be done.
Yeah.
Instead of wearing just one hat, you're wearing a stack of hats.
Yeah, totally. So, what made you kind of get into it full time, like to the level that you're at now?
I went through a weird progression. I had a lot of odd jobs when I was younger. Doing all the doing the lawn care stuff. But at that time I was, in the winter off season, I always have 2 or 3 jobs to make up for it. Then I got tired of doing that, so I thought, I'm going to go back to school. Ended up going back to school, became a teacher. Said, I'm never coming back to the green industry. I'm never going back to it.
What did you teach?
Massage therapy, kinesiology, and
awesome.
Anatomy and physiology.
Awesome.
So,
wow. Nice.
Yeah.
Very, very diverse.
Yeah, well,
so you swore off lawn care.
I swore off lawn care. Decided to go into that because I ended up, just focusing on kinesiology at the time, which is the study of how the human body moves. Ended up becoming a teacher, a college instructor, and then did that for a few years. Won't go into crazy detail about that whole thing, but that was a crazy job because I just didn't start. I started out teaching, turned into more administrative and just crazy, overworked, underpaid type thing. Had the opportunity to jump into construction. And then I spent over a decade in the construction field.
Wow.
And then things started burning out for me, and I decided, because I almost got killed a couple times, I decided I never got close to being killed when I was mowing lawns, so maybe I'll gear back to that.
Second chance.
Yeah, because I got a family and I want to be around for my daughter specifically.
Yeah.
And so that that's kind of what pushed me into it. And the funny thing is, I was trying to ease myself into from construction going into my own business. What ended up happening was I got into a car accident. I broke 2 of my fingers. And the construction company said I couldn't work there with broken fingers, and I said okay. So I was
you
either
can mow lawns.
Well, because I'm working for myself.
Yeah.
That's what I ended up doing. So for the first 3 months of my professional business career as an entrepreneur, I was working with broken fingers, and I remember not just mowing, I was aerating with one of the old slave machines.
With broken fingers.
With broken fingers. So if you're using one of those old Ryan, not hydraulic driven, doesn't steer, it's all manhandling.
Yeah.
With broken fingers. That's what I did.
That's crazy.
So
wow.
That's how I got into it, and I said, you know what? If I could do this with damaged as much as I was, then everything else is going to be easy.
What doesn't kill you makes you stronger.
Absolutely.
Man.
This finger still clicks though.
Oh my gosh! Like this pen.
You want to feel that? Feel that? No, like feel it. See that? Oh, you see that on that?
So when you're not working, what do you do in your spare time, if you have any?
All my spare time, if I have any, is spent with my wife and my daughter, and that's the whole reason why I continue to work as hard as I do. And right now it's a difficult time just because of the amount of work, for someone that keeps, going through employees that don't want to stick around. And still being solo, it's hard, and I know you've been there yourself.
Yeah.
But we don't get to go do big things, but we do a lot of little small things. Like one of my favorite things my daughter loves doing is going to the drive-in theater.
Yeah.
There's one. It takes a little while to get there, but it just makes it that much more special because we get there kind of early before the sun goes down. We pick out our spots, and we get some popcorn and all the treats and everything. Watch the movies. It's usually a double feature.
Nice.
So that's always fun. And
what's something you would say for the solo guys and girls out there that want to do that? Like, how do you balance that? How do you find that time?
You have to set some limits, because if you don't set some type of boundaries or limits to, like, okay, I need to stop working at this time, you could just work like I do sometimes during the early, when it's like it gets dark at 9 o'clock, you could be burning the entire day. You'd be like, get up at 7, get out and, be out in the field at 7. And then you're working until it's dark. I mean, like right now, it's getting kind of dark. Right. You can't really tell in the video too much, but it's getting to that point of the day where the sun's down, and if you're still out there working and you didn't prioritize family life, you're missing out on something.
Yeah.
Because that's the quickest way to go to being okay to burning out.
Yeah.
So that's
I have to say it was a great experience though, being able to see your family, your wife and your daughter, and we just went to the store and they were there.
Yeah.
And your daughter was like, "Daddy!" That was awesome. That was awesome.
Yeah, she's awesome.
So and your wife's awesome, and she's
Thank you.
"I love you, honey," and that's just it was a great experience. So obviously you are still making them a priority, and you're doing the right thing, and they appreciate it. They know how hard you're working, and that's awesome.
No matter what, you have to make time for family. If you sacrifice that time that you would spend and you're just chasing the money, or you're trying to chase opportunity, it's not going to be as fulfilling.
Right.
There's times when you have to work very hard and you have to push the limits, but then there's times when you really have to just stop, reel it back a little bit, and focus on what's important in your life. Think about what's important. What's important to me? It's not the money. It's not the, whatever it might be that I'm chasing. It's my family. It's providing for them, and then not only providing for them, but then to be able to enjoy the short amount of time I have with them.
explain your setup, what you were just saying.
Yeah. No, the rig that I have, a lot of guys have said you need to get an enclosed trailer, you need the tandem axle, all this other stuff. But the reason why I have that single axle trailer, and I showed you how it's got the really cool drop-off sides, it's more of like an ATV trailer, is because it fits everything I need. And I'm trying to be, high speed, low drag.
Right.
There's nothing on that trailer that doesn't need to be on there. So we've got the edging equipment, trimmers. We have backup trimmers. I only had 2 on today.
Right.
But the 36-inch mower gets in through all the gates that the 52 can't, and the entire weight payload matches that trailer exactly. So if I ever get pulled, like I have been pulled over, and they've tried to do some DOT stuff on me to find out if I was overweight, my truck is a half-ton truck, 7,000 pound plate. Technically, my entire rig should weigh 7,000 pounds. With me in the truck, I weigh 7,346 pounds with my current rig. I jump out of it and I'm 46 pounds over. So if anybody's watching and you're trying to get me, I'm going to have to throw the Gatorade out the window or something. So I just need to lose 46 pounds and
you'll be straight.
Be perfect.
But it seems like it's all about efficiency, right?
Yeah.
I mean, just get what you need, and so you can just
absolutely
be as efficient as possible.
That's one of the main reasons why I don't carry like a 30-inch mower or a 21-inch mower. There's no the areas that I work in, I make sure that the gates are, if there are any gates, that they are large enough to fit that 36-inch machine through. If I can't fit through it, then I just don't take the account. Because when I first started, I had a walk-behind mower, and we would get through these tiny little 25, 26-inch gates, and then there'd be, 14,000 square feet of lawn that you'd have to take care of. And doing that, just walking it and you can't even get a 30-inch back there.
Right.
So it was just not efficient, not practical.
Right, and it wears you down constantly. Doing that over and over again. Yeah. So what challenges do you have in your business? I mean, it sounds like your setup and everything is super efficient. I mean, what challenges are there? Any challenges in your business?
At this point, the biggest challenge right now is I'm at a point where, for future growth, I need laborers with me. And that's the hardest part, is to find somebody that will endure the type of temperatures, the heat, the climate. We work sometimes we have to work in the rain, or after the rain, and a lot of people don't want to do that type of labor. So that's the difficult thing, is trying to find people to do that. So I'm a little bit stagnant right now. It's like I could take on more work if I had somebody to 1 or 2 employees.
Right.
But at this point, I can't really grow too much until I find those people. One of the reasons I'm also considering pivoting more of my business from the mowing end more towards the fertilization and weed control. Not only that, but I enjoy it a little bit more too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, I feel like you can transform the lawn. You can see it's more noticeable, the transformation. I mean, you can mow it and lay down some nice stripes, but if it's a bunch of weeds, it's a bunch of weeds.
Absolutely.
If it's bare spots and dying grass, then it's only gonna look so good, no matter how nice you mow it. No matter what kind of mower and what kind of stripes, it's still gonna look like that. But if you're treating it, you can fill in those bare spots, get rid of those weeds, green up everything, and there's definitely, in my opinion, you probably would agree, just a bigger impact.
Absolutely.
So, I can see that too. Why you enjoy it a little bit more.
I'm in the process right now where I'm almost terraforming, and I know that sounds crazy to some people, but instead of just worrying about the grass that's there and growing it like a crop, I'm trying to change the soil composition so that it just naturally makes the plants that are there grow better.
Right.
And there's a whole other
science.
There's a whole other science to that, and that part geeks me out a little bit.
Yeah.
That's why I like that.
Yeah.
Because just about, you could train a guy, and he could, in a few weeks, a month or so, he could start producing mowing like I do. Like, he could lay down lines, do things exactly the way I do. Going that extra step into the fert, I mean, I can't even tell you how much I've spent in the training, the licensing, the certifications, everything that you need to, you know, be legal first, and then just the challenge of learning. I like that part.
What's one thing that helped change your business or help like transform your business to the next level?
Using Yardbook. I started, was 2015. I picked it up, and originally I was going to use Service Autopilot, but then things just, my schedule got accelerated unexpectedly, so I just started using Yardbook, and then realized it was good for what I needed. Well, over time they keep improving things, and I use a paid subscription for it, and it turns out it's good. You know, like, for what it is, it's a pretty powerful piece of software, and you know, I can manage all my clients with it, all their contact information, all the scheduling, their billing, tracking equipment, invoicing, estimates. I mean, literally, it's a pretty well-rounded CRM software.
So in closing, what's one piece of advice you would offer someone that's like just starting out or maybe struggling in lawn care?
Don't look at everybody else. Don't watch. Be realistic with your goals. There are so many great things about the green industry, but there's also a lot of people that show good stuff in any aspect of social media. It doesn't matter if it's YouTube, Facebook, Snapchat, Instagram, whatever. Any social media, a lot of guys just focus on the good times. The thing that you have to realize, if you're going to go out and start your own business, go for it, do it. But realize that there's obstacles that nobody talks about. Maybe one day I will like start making YouTube videos, and I'll be like, look, these are the top 5 things you got to think about before you start your own business. The realities. You know, one is be realistic with what your expectations are. You're not going to be running out the gate and making millions of dollars unless, I don't know. If you do, please give me a call and tell me, because I would love to know that secret. But you know, pace yourself. You got to keep going after it. You know, I have a thing I always tell people: keep pushing through. Yeah. And you have to do that, because there's going to be times when stuff sucks, and you just have to keep pushing through. You know, I'm going through, you know, struggles now where this time of the season, you know, you build up your client list, and then all of a sudden people just start falling off. You know, it's a game of attrition. You gain and you lose. And if you're gaining and you're not replacing those people or adding on to that, they're going to fall off, and then you're just going to have this vacuum that you're going to have to fill it all of a sudden. Yeah. Instead of continually building up and building up.
Right. Well, thank you, man. Thank you for letting me come down here and talking with me for a little bit.